Hello everyone and welcome back to my Manufacturer's Cup journey. And this is round 4. Pretty sure this is round 4. And this is around Spa, and this is a very troubling track for me, I will be honest, because I'm quite bad at it. And also because usually with Spa it's quite a really high speed track, so cars like the Huracan aren't really it. So most of the time I don't really practice it either, which doesn't help, as you'll see later in this video. So we're starting P6, so this is our best qualifying start in our entire campaign. And the goal is to beat our best, which was 7th back in Interlagos, all the way back in round 2. I say all the way back, it feels like a long time ago, but it was literally last week. But yeah, so the goal is to try and get to finish P6 or higher, because we want to get in a higher, just a new best basically. But as we go down towards the chicane, I've already been gapped by the Supra, but again, it's only lap 1, it's fine, we're all quite friendly with each other. As we go down this hill here, it seems like I forgot to edit this bit from my timeline here. Oh well, so you're gonna have to hear me just rave on a bit. Anyways, so about this race, medium tires only with a minimum of 1 stop. The tire wear was actually quite low. I say low, but it's not extremely high to the fact where you got to change your tires by like lap 4, like in daily races. So that's PDW, like Epiphany Digital W. Anyways, and the fuel, you are gonna have to eventually put fuel in, so that's the plan for everyone here. As we go down through Stavilo, again you'll see that Supra really start to gap me, and the problem is for me, I was busy all week pretty much, so I've barely gotten any practice. The only practice I've had for this round of the Manufacturers Cup was literally a lobby that was running 20 minutes before the start. And somehow we're in P6, so that's pretty good signs. But nothing much is really going to happen in these opening laps, as usually that happen, or not much really happens in these higher lobbies, because we all just want to really not fight and break the group basically. As we're going to fast forward here at some point. Come on, I'm seeing the little timeline scoot over. Yep. And we're on lap 3, and what I'm finding is that I'm actually quicker than the Supra. The only reason why it's ahead of me is because I can't pass it on the straight. Even though I'm right behind it through the hairpin, I'm really forgetting what it is, it still gaps me. But we have an opportunity here to pass the Supra going down the hill here, as I'm going to try and send it up on the inside, but I'm still not close enough here. We're side by side, and he's going to defend the position, as he's entitled to, but he's going to get through, and I need to immediately slot in, which I immediately do right there. I'm trying to learn from my mistakes and leaving the door open when I'm trying to make these moves, and that, I think it's a Ferrari behind me, was nearly about to really take the position there, which is really concerning. Yeah, it is a Ferrari. But as you can see, it's something which I didn't really want to do was make the move, because now you can see that Supra is now a little bit, we've broken away from that group ahead. And it's only lap 3, and we're actually kind of keeping pace with the leaders here, only 4 seconds behind, which is pretty good, as the McLaren ahead is going to take a penalty here, and it's going to really cause some mass panic, or I'm really trying to use my brain cells here and trying to remember what actually happened in the race. As he slows down and takes the penalty, and that Supra's going to challenge right up to the back of it, and it's going to try and go around the outside and Blanchimont, and it does. And that really makes me wish I was driving something a little bit quicker than this Huracan, because that would probably mean I'd be ahead of that McLaren. But remember this McLaren, because this McLaren is very important for later on in the race, because a lot of situations are going to come up between me and this McLaren. As we go to the next lap, I'm thinking, alright, P6, we're still in the group, pretty good position, right? As we brake for the final chicane, This McLaren just dives into the pit lane, and I'm like, what's going on here? You've got 16 laps to go. And then it hit me. There's rain on the radar. And this made me, I kid you not, just so angry. Not angry, but pissed off. Because again, like I said, I haven't done any practice, and I don't really look on the internet on what like everyone thinks the race is gonna be. And the prospect of rain really worries me, because I haven't practiced and I haven't driven Spa in the rain in probably like a year. So now my strategy that I somewhat came up with in that 20-minute pre-lobby has now gone completely out the window. And right now I'm praying I've made the right decision of staying out. As the Ferrari, you can probably just hear it right there on the camel going for a move, but we defend it. But we get to the end and you can see the moisture meter on the bottom left corner is starting to rise. So we've just beat the rain into the pit lane, which honestly I thought wasn't going to happen. And you see the title of this video. This is the most embarrassing race ever. Yeah, that's about to happen, like right now. The embarrassment begins here. Because I was just not prepared. I didn't even fathom rain. Even though as soon as that McLaren went into pit lane, I'm like, oh crap, it's gonna rain, isn't it? And yeah, my worst fears came true. As we put on the tyres here, we're going to put in a little bit of fuel. You can see some people on wets, some people on inters. It was borderline inters and wets for pretty much the entire race here on out. And you can see here, P6, so pretty good position. The guy that pit the McLaren, he's lost a lot of ground. And now the woes begin, as I just completely take Eau Rouge wrong in the wet. And now I've got an Aston Martin here that's coming up behind me really quickly. So now I've got a decision to make. Do I defend him or do I just let him go? He's not close enough, but because I don't know what I'm doing, for the entire race, I don't know what I'm doing, where my braking points are, how I bleed off the brakes, my acceleration. I'm pretty much learning on the go. This is the prime example of the teacher springing a surprise topic test and you haven't done any homework or studied. Trust me, I know the feeling. Anyways, we're right behind this McLaren, and that Aston Martin is right behind me on my rear quarter panel here. As he's going to get a really good exit, and he's going to try something really ballsy, which I didn't think he's going to do. And he's going to make it 3 wide, going down into Pouon. And that McLaren ends up losing out, and I just concede to the Aston Martin. Now here I'm thinking, alright, I've got a chance here for P5. A chance. So if I can hold P6, or I can go up to P5, that would be amazing. I can get the most points haul for this season. But my noobiness, or how crappy and how unintelligent I am, I'm not going to hold this position for that long, as the title suggests. Now you can already see that Aston Martin's already pulling away from me, and that's about the signs of things to come, basically. And going up towards Blanchimont here, I think this is the lap. I believe it's the lap. Yep, I just go completely wide, and I'm really trying to hold it there, so I had to get off the gas. And so I just pretty much let that McLaren straight through. But again, no worries. That was only, what, 2 mistakes? Eau Rouge, Radion, and Blanchimont. Yeah, nothing to worry about, right? Everything will be completely fine. Yeah, about that. As we go on to lap 7 here, why am I forgetting this corner? It's like one of those iconic corners as well. The La Source hairpin. There you go. We're in tow, and like I said, that McLaren that went in that I said to keep track of, he's already behind me here. He's bloody quick. As you go up Eau Rouge Radion, never mind. It's this lap, the next lap, lap 8. As you go up Eau Rouge Radion again, take it really slowly, like a bumbling idiot. And that McLaren behind me is now slowly creeping up on me on the radar. And I'm getting really worried, because I'm starting to believe that my pace is just not enough. So we've gone from the pace of being able to hold P6, and now we're in P8. As that McLaren kind of bungles me wide, and I kind of bungle him wide, but I slow down, give him the position back. It was probably his fault, but we're in the wet, low grip conditions. It's fine. I'm fine with letting him go because again, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm quite low on confidence with my driving here, so if I can just let people through without destroying our races, I'll be happy. So we're now P8. We're going backwards pretty quickly now. As we go past No Name Corner, which I think it has a name now, but I forget what it's called. Everyone's starting to line up behind me, and I do the unthinkable and go completely wide and off the track. I poo on. And right now, I'm screaming internally because I am losing so many positions out of just stupid mistakes and trying to learn this track on the go. It's basically what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn on the go, which usually never happens in a lobby like this where everyone has practiced for like the last 3 days. Going in unprepared doesn't work. So now we've gone from P6 down to P10 as we go down through Blanchimont, and yeah, I'm just gonna straight up lose another position because I'm crap at braking. So now we're down to P11, and from here on out, that's where I'm gonna be. It's for the next few laps from P8. I mean from lap 8. Not great. So now I'm just like, please, can this race just be over? But because we got so many laps to go, never give up. It's one thing that you have to keep in your mind is to never give up. As we fast forward to I'm saying P as if it's for position. Lap 11, yellow flag, and there's a yellow BMW spun it. And that was probably one of the leaders. That was one of the guys in the leading group. So if he can make mistakes, then it's fine, right? As we fast forward again to lap 13, I'm just really trying to maintain that gap. I'm trying to take more risks, going through Eau Rouge and Raidillon, Blanchimont, Pouhon. My problem was braking into these medium to high speed corners because it is so easy to mess those ones up, especially. But a GIF kind of happens here as that group ahead is just fighting like crazy. And two of them has penalties, so if I can somehow, hook this sector up, I'm in for a chance at the end when they take their penalties. For a chance of passing them. So we're going down the hill to No Name Corner. Chuck a left, and one of them has over a second penalty. I think the other one has half a second. I don't know because I'm zoomed out on my editing software. As we go down towards Pouhon, and we really catch him up here, which is really good. And again, all I need to do is hang tight with them, but again, it's not a guarantee that I'll pass them because I'm quite bad. That's literally it. And to be honest, I don't really recognize many of these cars because these cars started way at the back of the grid. And the fact that they're doing really well and I'm not makes me really embarrassed of myself. So we go down towards Stabilo. These guys are about to serve their penalties. As that Porsche ahead is really trying to fight them, which I don't really know why, because they're going to really take the penalty anyway. And now we've got to slalom our way through these guys. And there's that McLaren I told you to keep track of, because he's going to be coming up on us fast. And now I just want to stay with this Porsche. And I'm pretty sure this next jump cut will be a little bit in the future. But basically, I start losing them, which made me really happy inside. That, hey, I'm actually pretty quick, I'm faster than these guys. But the conditions are going to end up drying out. Not to the point where slicks are, but not wet territory, basically. That bar is probably going to stay under the wet territory. So, dries out, in quotations, but not a lot. As we go through the La Source hairpin and zoom forward, I got a penalty for cutting for going a bit wide. And you can see that McLaren, like I said, he's stalking us the entire race, and we're near the end of the lap here, so I'm thinking of defending, but he's just coming so quick, and again, I'm just really low on confidence. So I'm just going to let him through and hope something materializes, basically. and that a mistake happens with him so we can pass him again. Again, I don't know. But we're going to fast forward again onto the penultimate lap, going onto the final lap. As me and this McLaren, I've stuck with this McLaren, which is really good. And we're closing in on that Porsche. So I have a chance to redeem myself here. Just sticking in the race where I thought I was down in the dumps in P11. I have a chance here to get P7. So this is what not giving up does. I was down in the dumps, low on confidence, but by the end I've got a chance. As that Porsche is going to go really defensive, but it's going to give us the place, which is really weird. Something which I didn't think was going to happen. But now it's pretty much a battle between me and this McLaren. I say battle, but it's me pretty much trailing this McLaren, keeping on its toes and praying for a mistake, because I feel like even though I've stuck with this McLaren for this entire stint in this drying phase, I feel like it's still quicker because I still haven't been able to mount a challenge for this McLaren. As we go down the Camel Straight for a final time here and brake for the chicane, something's going to happen here as it goes really wide onto the AstroTurf, and I'm saying this has to be it. This has to be my chance of him getting a penalty and me potentially having a pass, and it happens. So now I just need to keep somewhat in half a second range going into the final sector, and I've got a chance to pass him. So going down the hill here, going into No Name Corner, as he kind of takes it a bit crap, I take it a bit crap. And you can see I'm maintaining this gap really well. I say really well, but the gap's not increasing basically. As I go into Puon, one of my weakest corners, he takes the corner pretty well, and I'm really trying to feather the throttle here, but he gets a really good exit here, and now he's starting to pull away again. So now I'm starting to get worried that that half a second penalty might not work, as he drifts that McLaren really wide, and we're back in contention. All I need to do is not stuff up, and I've got a chance. God, I feel like a broken record with chance. As I go through Stabilo, we both take a really small drift going into the final straight. He's going to take a penalty here. And now all I need to do is not stuff this up. As he takes the penalty, as I go left. And I feel like I should be able to do this from here on out. But I make another mistake, and that's braking around Blanchimont. All I need to do is lift, and now that brings him right up within 2/10. He can take a dive. And again, I'm thinking it's still wet conditions, and I brake really, really early, and he's right up my tail again. But luckily, I parked the car, and we come home P7, one position from where we started. And this is a lesson of pretty much not giving up. I was down in the dumps, again, low in confidence, and I felt like I was going to go back again. But sticking in there, because the race never ends until it's over, allowed me to claw back to P7. So, yeah, this was a race in misfortunes, as I would say. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next manufacturer's race.